Hey everyone, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media, and it is time for episode 2 of my $10 challenge. So this is where I head over to Walmart, see what kind of new, low-budget, independent, most likely not the best, typically horror films that I can find that have been released recently. I'll buy it, take it home, watch it, and then vlog through a review of it. So I first want to say thank you guys so much for your response to the first video. It was overwhelmingly positive, much better than I expected it to do. So thank you so much for tuning into that one. Hopefully, I will be able to continue this series. I don't know if I'll do it every other week, maybe once every 3 weeks, or maybe even once a month. I don't know exactly, but it felt like a good time to do it. So we're going to head back out today to Walmart and see what I can find. Most of you liked the way I was doing this. You liked that kind of vlog style review at the end. So I'm going to do that again. I know some people commented like, why are you wasting your time on these probably terrible movies? Is it really worth it? Why don't you do this for good movies? And I totally respect and understand that. But the whole point of this is to kind of look at these films that people are not talking about and see if they are any good, because I don't know if any movie is any good or not. It can be a, super low budget, looks like garbage thing, or it could be an award winner, an Oscar winner. It doesn't matter. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's good for me or not until I actually watch the movie. And so the hope, or I guess the hope is the best word to use here, is that I will find some diamonds in the rough, some movies that are typically looked at as not very good, but when I actually watch it, hopefully I will enjoy it. And so that's the whole point, is try to find some hidden gems, or diamonds in the rough, whatever you want to call it. So that's the point of this. And so that's what I'm going to do again today. So, like I said, I'm not sure how often this will happen, but today felt like a good day to head back out. So I'm actually heading to the exact same Walmart because I have to pick up my daughter over in that direction. So I am hoping they have some new items in, but I've not watched any new pickup videos recently over the past couple of weeks here. So I'm hoping for the best. We'll see what we can find. One other thing I wanted to comment before I go is, another person commented that anything that's released by ITN distribution, like Easter Bunny Massacre was last time, it's actually available day one on Tubi, which is very good to know. Thank you so much for that information. I did not know that. So that doesn't mean I'm going to not buy ITN, but I am definitely going to keep that in mind and see if there's any other, distributors there that are not available streaming that I might want to pick up first. So, thank you again for that comment. That was super helpful. But yeah, anyway, guys, let's do this. Let's head over to Walmart and see what we can find. So if you guys are excited about episode 2 of my $10 challenge, please give it a like down below. That engagement really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to my $10 challenge, video 2, or episode 2, I guess is the better way to describe it. All right, let's see what we have. This one's interesting. Silent Night with Keira Knightley. This one's 13, so it's just out of range. RLJE Films. Interesting. Alright, so what do we have over here? We have a lot of $13 movies today. Here is an Asylum sequel, I assume anyway, because Megalodon is an Asylum movie. But I don't have the original, so I'm not going to get that one. Yeah, it doesn't look like they have a whole lot of new, unfortunately. Here is Bloody Mary. Here's ITN, so I'm guessing that's going to be available on Tubi. Red Ghost. The snow will be painted in blood. Feels reminiscent of, like, Dead Snow almost. Doesn't look terrible. I don't know what company that is, though. Cape Light. Here's Dr. Carver. I don't remember if I saw this one last time or not. The Doctor Will Slay You Now. Another ITN. Alien Conquest. This one looks like it should be a side. Oh, you know what? It is. Ooh. And it's down to $10. An apocalyptic actioner in the tradition of War of the Worlds and Independence Day. Oh my, well that is a strong contender. I wish this one was down to 10, but it's 13. This is a good option because it's Asylum. Here's the Gin again. It's not a bad option. And kind of all the ones we saw last week, or last time. The Haunting of Hith House, another ITN I bet. Oh no, yes, ITN. Unquiet Grave, another one we saw last time. I don't know if you'll see it, but this one is called Monster Python, but it's not here, and that's disappointing because I want to see what that one is. Man, our options are quite... Ooh, here's a good one. Red Snow. What is this? Vampire movie, another... Oh no, this is the Phase 4 or whatever it is. 4 digital media, I always do that. But this one looks interesting. Wired Shut. Nowhere to run, no way to scream. From Wired Shut Productions? That's really strange. Looks like this might be Home Invasion related as well, which I am a huge fan of. Here is The Settlers, another $10 one. They do have a Blu-ray for this one. Evokes classic westerns. My buddy sent me a message saying that somebody said they found this at the Dollar Tree already, which I find difficult to believe, but who knows, if you have it, let me know. Oh, this is pretty cool. I love that. And they have this. I just showed this in my most recent haul. I had the Chase figure without the mask on. It's cool though. Oh, here's Batman. Oh my gosh. This one came out a few weeks ago, but it's from Neill Blomkamp. How do you say his name? Blomkamp, yeah. I've not seen anyone talk about this, but it's from a really good director, so that's tempting. Looks like this is where a lot of the $10 ones are. You got Planet Dune, which I already own. Humpty Dumpty Apparitions looks pretty good, but these are going to be older ones, not brand new releases. We've been out a few weeks or more. Ooh. The Devil Came Home. Another one I think we saw last time. So with these, none of these I don't think are brand new, but these are the 3 I'm really contemplating here. The Asylum, Alien Conquest, Wired Shut, which looks like Home Invasion, or Demonic by Blomkamp, who is just a good director. So I'm kind of leaning this way just because I feel like this one is so interesting to me because it's by a known director, but I've not heard anybody talk about it yet. It's from IFC Midnight, so I'm thinking we're going to go Demonic. I'm going to hope they have a better slipcover because this one's kind of beat up. But Wired Shut is tempting. In this instance, though, I think Demonic's going to take the cake. And that one will do. Let's go check out.
Hello.
Hello. Well, how about you? Good. Perfect.
Hey.
Thank you.
I hope you have a good day.
You too. Thanks a lot. All right, so I found Demonic. I'm going to go with that one. Neill Blomkamp is a really good director. District 9, Elysium, and Chappie is what he's directed in the past. I think I've seen only District 9. And now that I think about it, I don't know that I know I've not seen Chappie, and I honestly just can't remember if I've seen Elysium or not. But yeah, I figured no one's talking about this movie. I know it came out a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, whatever it was, but I've yet to see any reviews on it. So I am very intrigued on if it's any good or not, given who the director is. He normally does sci-fi / action. This looks like it is a horror movie with a high-tech, style to it, I guess is what it says on the back. So very intrigued to see if this one's going to be any good or not. So heading out to pick up my daughter, and then tonight I will pop this in and see if it's any good or not. All right, so it is finally nighttime, back home, daughter's in bed. It is time to put on Demonic and see what this is all about. So excited to finally get into this one after a long day. But I don't know if you guys noticed, but back here, you'll see my couch is now free of stacks of movies, which is a good sign. It means I'm making progress in finalizing my inherited movie collection, which if you guys did watch that series, you should have another kind of final video just recapping all of it in the next coming weeks here. So excited to kind of put a bow on that one. But anyway, with that said, I really want to get this open, get it in the player, and see what in the world Neill Blomkamp has for me in terms of horror. Hopefully he's as good as horror as he is at sci-fi. So really excited to get this one in. All right, so Demonic is now complete. Hopefully I'm not too far away from the camera here. I have it on a tripod this time. I'm trying that, see how it works. But anyway, Demonic is done. And let me just start off by saying that this is a completely different style of movie than what Easter Bunny Massacre is. Easter Bunny Massacre is a true, low budget independent film. It has, first off, Neill Blomkamp is the writer-director, so you know there's money behind it. And it felt like a theatrical release, which turns out it actually was a theatrical release. I guess it came out in theaters in August of 2021, and it was in theaters about a week before it ended up hitting VOD. So I was looking, there's a worldwide gross of $333,000, so not very much. And I'm gonna guess that Blomkamp spent a little bit more than that to make this movie. There was just a ton of special effects work, CGI work that had to go into this based on some of the things they were doing. So I'm sure they spent, probably millions, I would guess, on this, which frankly is nothing nowadays for movies. But yeah, so this is just it's on a whole nother level. So keep that in mind going into this. This is not a low budget horror film, or it is low budget, all things considered, but it's not like an independent low budget horror film, a backyard horror film, almost like Easter Bunny Massacre. So that aside, let me just talk about what this movie is, the best that I can. So we are following our main character. We are coming to find out that her mother is, she's in prison, but they don't really reveal why it is right away. You have to watch a little bit to kind of figure out what happened. The opening scene is, clearly you're going to deal with fire. And given the title of the movie, Demonic, obviously, it's not a spoiler to say we're dealing with a demonic possession here. So that's what our main character is trying to deal with. She hasn't seen her mom in 20 years, I guess it's been. But she gets a phone call one day, and it is a doctor or someone saying that they're a doctor that wants to bring her to her mother to have this interaction with her. But it is this whole simulation thing. And so it's completely bonkers and off the wall, but it's actually pretty cool what they're doing with it. And so she ends up going to this facility to meet her mother, or at least that's what she thinks she's doing. And she gets, it turns out that she's going to be placed into this simulation. So they're going to put this thing on her head that's supposed to connect her brain with her mother's brain and these memories she's having, and just all this weird, crazy stuff. But, basically what she is trying to do is figure out if her mother is in a better spot, if she's feeling better, if she is comfortable, things like that. That's what the doctors are telling her. But of course, it's going to take just these like absurd twists and turns from there. So it admittedly starts off really cool. Like, I'm all for a slow burn, and that's exactly what this is. This is 100% a slow burn. It is slow. There's just a ton of dialogue in this one, which I wasn't expecting, I guess, but I think it was interesting. I enjoyed it, but it definitely will not be for some people. That is for sure. But if you do appreciate slow burns, then this might be something to consider. But so it starts off very, like dialogue heavy. You're just learning kind of the background of these characters. And then it just, I want to say it jumps the shark almost. Like, it just kind of introduces this whole army of exorcists. It's just the strangest thing, but I think it pulls it together pretty well at the end because it's interesting the entire time. Let me kind of backtrack, circle back here. So let me talk about the acting first. And I think the acting in this is actually excellent. It is clear that these are actors that have been doing this a long time, and they have. One of the characters is one of the main characters from Battlestar Galactica. You have some actors from Neill Blomkamp's other films, District 9, Elysium are in this. They are very talented, skilled actors that are doing a really good job. So if anyone has anything to complain about in this movie, I don't think it would be the acting, because I think it was very believable and effective the entire time. So I thought that part of the movie was just great. I had no complaints there. The other thing I thought was really interesting is that this movie, apparently, according to what I was reading online, was actually shot in secret during the COVID-19 pandemic in I guess it was in 2020, or yeah, I guess it would have to be 2020, in British Columbia, Canada. And so I really liked some of the filming locations they had. I thought it looked really cool. And I will mention, I didn't realize this one does have a Blu-ray release. And honestly, you can tell you're watching a DVD here. Like, I wish I would have had the Blu-ray, because it would have looked a lot better in some of those like larger landscapes shots that I was wishing I had a Blu-ray for. But outside of that, like, the DVD was totally acceptable. So talking about some of the special effects on this, I feel like that's probably where most of the money went. They do this simulation like I talked about, and it's basically like, she must have been, I actually looked it up. There's a term for it. I can't remember what it is at this point, but it's like almost like a green screen room that's fully like 360 degrees. And that must have been what they were using for this, because it had to be a ton of CGI work. And what's cool about it though is that it is made to look like you're watching a simulation. It's not made to look realistic, and I think that works really well. Though there is a lot of CGI, in this instance, that's not a bad thing, because it is supposed to be that way, and it's not trying to, like, make something look real when it's not. So I thought that was done really well. I feel like I'm so far away, so I'm just going to hold on to the camera and move it over here. So anyway, the other aspect of this that I really enjoyed was, like, this was genuinely creepy. There were just moments where my heart was pounding. I was thinking, what is going to happen next? You know, like, were there jump scares that were going to pop up, which always get me? Like, just things like that. And I'll admit, I'm a big wimp. Like, I get scared relatively easily, especially for someone who's watched horror as long as I have and loves it as much as I do. I get scared relatively easily at movies. I have to, like, look down at the floor and just be like, come on, what's going on next? So it wasn't to that level, but there was a scene in this movie that I will not soon forget. Like, it's one of those things where you know something's about to happen. You can feel the creepy coming, and, like, I have them now, like goosebumps. Like, it just gave me full body chills, because it worked so well. Like, it was awesome. I absolutely loved that scene. And I don't think it never gets that movie, that's like the peak of the movie in my book. It never gets as scary as that scene ever again in the film, unfortunately. But I do think that the ending is pretty cool. I wish they would have done more with this creature design that they have, because they have an awesome creature design. I think it looks super creepy. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I just wish you would have gotten a little bit more of it, I guess. At the end, it's so, like, wasted. This really cool design just feels so wasted. So that was disappointing. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, there was just some really cool aspects to this film, but it absolutely will not be for everyone. Like, this takes a person who is going to appreciate a lot of dialogue, is going to appreciate a slow burn, and can deal with a story going almost completely off the rails toward the second half of this thing. If you're willing to go with it, if you're willing to suspend disbelief though, I think there really is something to enjoy here. I honestly like quite impressed with Blomkamp's first outing into just genuine horror. I think he does a really interesting job, and I will absolutely watch something else that he does in the horror genre. So I'm kind of surprised how much I enjoyed this one. It has been getting, like, I was just looking at like Amazon because I was curious if there was a Blu-ray, and there is, and it does not have very good reviews on Amazon. And so like, I don't know what I liked about it that others didn't, because I didn't read their reviews. I just saw the star ratings. But this is one, like, if I find the Blu-ray for cheap, I'll probably end up upgrading, because like I said, like, you could tell this was a DVD, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Like, when they have those shots of the landscape, it just didn't look that good. And so a Blu-ray, I think, would really clean those up and just make the movie pop a little bit more. There are a lot of dark scenes in this that I think would look awesome on the, you know, in 1080p. But whatever, the Blu-ray is fine, or the DVD is fine for now. But I would like to upgrade at some point down the line. And the other thing I would really like to see, there are some like making of like video diaries, I guess, on the Blu-ray release. I would love to see that, especially because it was filmed during the pandemic. Like, that fascinates me. Another movie that was done during the pandemic was the Shudder original Host. If you guys have seen that, it is like a found footage horror film that scared the hell out of me. I loved it. And I actually own the Blu-ray of that one as well. And the special features are why I wanted the Blu-ray. And kind of the same thing here. There's no special features on this. It is a 5.1 track where I felt the rears on this one, unlike Easter Bunny Massacre. And there is English subtitles on this, just as a FYI if you're interested. But yeah, so in this video series, like I talked about before, I want to either give this a skip, where it's not worth your time at all, like Easter Bunny Massacre, or I'll rate it as a Dollar Tree, because a lot of these $10 Walmart DVDs end up at the Dollar Tree. So that is just saying, hold off, wait till you can get it cheap, whether it's $1 or $5, whatever, that's up to you. But Dollar Tree just means hold off on it. And then Walmart means, you know what? This one is pretty good. This is worth going out and spending the $10 on. So with Demonic from 2021, I'm going to have to give this one a Walmart. Like, I think this was a genuinely good movie that I thoroughly enjoyed, but please keep in mind, this will not be for everyone. The majority of people, according to everything I've seen anyway, the majority of people watching this probably won't enjoy it quite as much as I did, and it's not perfect. Like, this is probably 3 to 3.5 stars out of 5. I'd probably bump it up to 3.5 just because of that one scene that I talked about that just was amazing. But outside of that, like, there's some things not to like here, that's for sure. So if you're like me, if you find that you like a slow burn horror film, you don't mind a lot of dialogue, then maybe give this one a shot. Like, I'm happy I bought it. I'm happy it's in the collection. I'll even upgrade this down the line on the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray's $15 right now on Amazon. The DVD is $10 on Amazon as well. $10 at Walmart, obviously where I got it. If you're willing to take a chance, I'd say go for it. I would prefer to have the Blu-ray in this instance, just because I think it'll clean up the picture a little bit. But either way, like, I'm happy I got this. So I think this one ended up being pretty successful. So episode 2 is a success. So this is exactly why I'm doing this. I never would have bought this if it wasn't for doing this video series. So I am so happy that I ended up getting around to doing this and then picking up Demonic. This is a really good choice. So I'm sure I won't often find like theatrical releases at the at $10 at Walmart, but this was a cool one. I'm really happy that it was. So I enjoyed this one, and I would love to hear from you guys down in the comments. If you've seen this, let me know what you think about it. Was it one that you, much like the majority, did not like, or did you give it a shot and maybe enjoyed it a little bit more than I did? I don't know if this one is streaming anywhere, but it's definitely worth watching if you can find it streaming somewhere. But anyway, so that is it for today, guys. Again, if you enjoyed this series, if you enjoyed this this video in particular, please give this one a like down below. That engagement really does help me out. And leave any and all of your comments down there. Let me know any suggestions you have to improve the series. Let me know what you think about Demonic. Are you a big Neill Blomkamp fan? Let me know your thoughts on all of that down in the comments below. But as always, guys, like I said, if you enjoyed it, give it a like. That really does help me. But with that said, that is going to do it for episode episode 2 of my $10 challenge. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And that's going to do it. So I will catch you guys next time.